Alright, so as you can see to start today's episode off, we've got 93 million to spend in the budget on brand new transfers to massively improve the team, after we spent big last episode as well to improve the team, bringing in Marcus Leonardo and Flamingo into the team as new players, as part of the squad. We also brought in Harry Wilson as a pre-contract last season. Let's get into the transfer window. Let's bring in a new centre mid to upgrade on Bishop. He's been great for us in that centre mid role, but we need a higher rated player than Bishop for the season ahead, and also maybe a player or two as a backup. We need a new backup left wing, because Ramazani is decent, but I feel like he doesn't really have what it takes for us in the squad, being 25 and he's 76 overall. I feel like I want a younger player to do backup to Okafor, someone I can trust more off the bench than I can with Ramazani right now anyway. But let's get into the window, spend big on some new transfers and massively improve this team and make it when I can challenge not only for challenge for trophies this season. Alright, so as you can see, before we make any more signings, you can see Joe Bellingham is a player that you guys did want me to sign to replace Bishop in the centre mid role, but unfortunately Dortmund do not want to sell him to us as he is too important to the club. And that's unfortunate for us. He would have been a great player for us to bring into the team and develop, but we are going to use Bellingham in the future, maybe in a Dortmund, or definitely in the Dortmund series in the near future. Maybe our next series we could do is with Dortmund, so we can get him in a team and use him and develop him as a great player. But he would have been perfect for our team as a box-to-box midfielder, but unfortunately Dortmund are willing to let him go. But let's get into the window and make some big signings. Unfortunately, Bellingham is not one of them we can make. And signing here for 29 million is a Croatian midfielder, formerly Dinamo Zagreb, who made the move over to Como, but which hasn't worked out for him. After 6 months, he's on his way in real life on the move away from Como, seemingly to Leeds United, so we'll bring him into the team. Now, this is Batarina, the Croatian midfielder, 23 years of age, 8 rated, obviously more of a cam, but can play centre mid. Doesn't have the defensive ability that we do need from a box-to-box midfielder, but he's going to be more of an attacking midfielder for us. See, Ampadu and Anton Stark are more defensive, but having to play like Batarina as a more attacking midfielder can be great for us in that centre mid role, and should be a fantastic player for us in the team to take us to further glory. And for only 29 million, it's a big bargain for us. And signing here from FC Basel, there's a player that not many people will know about him. Benny Traore, a 23-year-old, 77 rated left midfielder / left wing / right wing, LC as well. Has got 4 goals in 13 games for Basel in the league. I think he might have been out injured. I did look at his stats and I saw something about an injury for him not that long ago. But Benny Traore is signing here for us with 81 to 87% potential. Someone that could be fantastic for us, a hidden gem in the game, signs for us here for fairly cheap to be the backup to Okafor. And signing here from Everton is the 6'6" Irish centre-back in Jacob O'Brien, as he plays right-back for Everton right now. Can play centre-back, is more known for playing centre-back due to injuries at Everton, has been forced into playing right-back, where he's been pretty decent for them in that role, but is more suited to playing the centre-back role in the team. As he signs for us to be a quality backup player for us in the team, or could break into the first team depending on what happens with players, etc. But O'Brien signs here to be possibly a final signing off the window, and it should be a big one, not only in height, but also importance to the team. Alright, so before we get into our first game of the episode up against Manchester City away from home at the Etihad, I thought I'd run you quickly through the changes we made to the team in the transfer window. So we brought in Leonardo, we brought in Batarina and Flamingo for the first team. And this is a backup player, so we brought in Traore here, Benny Traore from Basel, who, into the stats-wise, he's got 4-star skill with 3-star weak foot, real-driven shot, pretty good play styles and decent roles already as well. So stats-wise, a very quick player with end product as well, which is what I liked about him when I looked into his stats. He has the ability to give us something in the attack as well. With 81 finishing, he can get into the box and score goals for us when necessary. And that's pretty good play size. Low-driven shot, game changer, technical and quick step. A rather underrated player, or I guess you could say more of a hidden gem in the game that I discovered here, looking through just every league and looking for players we could bring into the team. Also brought in Jake O'Brien into the team as a backup centre-back / right-back. And he is actually higher rated at centre-back, so we're going to convert him into one. I believe he's 81 rated at centre-back, if not higher rated at this point in the season. You guys suggested we did start him with a Flamingo in the team. And for this game against Man City, I might do so. The only issue is I don't think he has defender, as he does have defender +1, and Flamingo has defender neither of them. So actually, Jacob Bryan is going to start at centre-back for this game to see what he can do here for us. And we're also going to drop Pascal Stark down to bring up James Justin, just in case we do need a right-back at some point. But our bench is looking a lot better now, but that's a Traore into the team and some quality players in the first team that got dropped down. And we're going to get into our first game of the episode up against Man City and Batterina and Brighton make their debuts, and hopefully they can prove to be worthwhile signing for us. So he needs to develop as a box-to-box midfielder. I could also play him as a playmaker in that centre mid role, which I might do. That might be better suited for him. But Leonardo intercepted by Gahey, who Man City are looking to buy IRL right now. See a bunch of teams are coming in for Gahey. It's Liverpool, where the one of the biggest teams going in for him at one point. Obviously, he had a transfer that collapsed in the start of the season. Here is Doku. Ball in, and that's a good save there from Perry to deny Johnny Reinders getting a goal, the Dutchman. And Arnie's slot as manager of Manchester City. Okay, that is just weird to see. Rodri is short to Foden. Ball in. Perry intercepts. Now we can get the ball forward. Sark. Ball over the top here, looking for Leonardo, who is in behind the Brazilian. Hits it and he misses. I should have maybe taken one more touch, I'm not too sure, but I felt like he had the ability to score it on the bounce, on the half volley, but he misses the goal. And he probably should have scored it. It's a big opportunity for us to miss in this game. Finesse shot blocks. We're going to get a free kick though. We're going to take it in a decent position. Well, Anton Stark is still over it right now, but Batterina is better, but Anton Stark does have the power to maybe beat Donnarumma here. Let's try and hit this one with Stark. He did score a free kick last episode, if I'm not mistaken. Stark hits it, and Stark off the crossbar. Pavlovic now. Ball inside to Haaland, and the shot is saved by Perry. Reinders, Rodri, Johnny Reinders, Haaland, and that's 1-0 City. And that is frustrating to see after, well, Leonardo missed the opportunity and we hit the crossbar with that free kick. Going 1-0 down to City here is frustrating to see, 100%. And it's a goal we could have cut out. Perry being beaten by a low-driven shot there. Yes, it's powerful by Haaland, but probably should be doing a lot better there. To get beaten by in that position is not a good look for him. Moving Bard, good challenge in there to get the ball off Foden. Okafor flicks it on to Leonardo. So I think Okafor would have run into the space in the centre, but he kept going down the wing, which is not what I wanted him to do. Batterina though. And feed it through to Wilfred Jadonto to level it up. Jadonto scores. Coming towards the half-time break, we'll finally get ourselves a goal in this game, and Batterina gets his first assist as a Leeds United player. And Jadonto gets the goal, we should have to see. See, it's great play. Batterina just waits for the opportunity, plays it through. And Gahey was beaten by the Italian, and he beats his fellow Italian in net in Donnarumma to give us a lead in this game, we should have to see. And puts us back level in this one here. So I gets the ball inside to Haaland, but there's Bitch, you have a great bit of defending there from him. Erling Haaland. Haaland shoots, and Haaland's denied by Perry with a big save there. Lovely player, Batterina through to Jadonto, leads to linking up again. The Italian hits it, and the Italian hits the crossbar. Away from that, Foden. Oh no, Haaland's in, and Haaland's probably going to score here. Perry, big save again, no to deny. Erling Haaland at getting a double. Wing with the ball, the Brazilian. And put the ball into the back post, but overhit. Jadonto does win the header though. It comes to Batterino, who heads it, and Donnarumma makes a big save there. Here's Pavlovic, the German. So Johnny Reinders over here to Doku. Belgian hits it, and the Belgian scores. And it's 2-1. If we lose this game, I will feel heartbroken about it, because I feel like we could get a win here. And it's so weird seeing Arnie slot as a Man City manager, man. The worst part about this is, like, I obviously forced him to go down here to the left, thinking, yeah, if he took the shot, Perry would make a big save. But unfortunately, Doku rifles that one into that part of the net, which was just unsavable there, that shot. And let's make changes here. O'Brien intercepts. Joseph out wide here to Benny Choro, but the pass was too close to Gvardiol. Mateo Joseph, the Spaniard. Here to Benny Traore in his debut. Can he make a big impact? Aronson, I brought him on instead of Harry Wilson due to being a bit more nimble, I think anyway. Joseph Aronson, good play here. Can he play it across to the Spaniard and he's done so? It's a great goal. Some great link-up play. And Mateo Joseph, who spent last season on loan, has come back this season. I'd play that one to give a chance to win the team. Obviously, there's a decent young talent, 22 years of age. I'm not too sure what his potential is in the game. I think it's 80 plus guaranteed. Maybe also sort of like 84, 85, if I'm not mistaken. And it's great give and go here between Aronson and Joseph, who worked that attack brilliantly together there. And the two substitutes may just rescue the point for us there at the Etihad. Reinders, I'm not liking this. Reinders now into the box, back stick. Bogle heads it away. And the game's going to be done. It's a 2-2 draw. We take it. A point apiece against City is a pretty good result for us. And I don't know what I get the Man City fans, but I've got Memphis Depay as well in the team. That's so weird. On his starters manager, Memphis Depay in the team is so odd, but a fair result in my opinion. A draw and a point apiece with Aronson and Mateo Joseph getting them at the same rating as Toronto and Batarina. And Batarina in his debut also getting an assist and playing great. I think he might have got 2 assists, or maybe just one, I'm not too sure, but overall a fair result in my opinion. A draw here between us and a point apiece between us. And well, after that frustrating draw to Manchester City, we're now taking an Arsenal, the team we beat in the Carabao Cup final, in the Community Shield final to win that trophy. Let's get straight into this one against Arsenal at home at Elland Road and hopefully bounce back from that draw to City and get a win here against Arsenal. Alright, so we'll go against Arsenal. Obviously right now they're top of the table, and especially after Man City lost to Man United yesterday, which I weirdly expected. For some reason, at the very start of the game, I just thought to myself that we were going to lose, as in Man City, who I support. And, well, it happened, which is unfortunate, because obviously Man United aren't the best team in the world right now, and we lost to them fairly comfortably. We only managed 1 shot on target throughout the whole game, which is awful. And Man City right now, we are in a bad run of form, let's say, in the league anyway. Elsewhere, we're doing pretty good, but in the league, we are struggling, to say the least, right now, as we play it through to Leonardo. And Leonardo now shoots, and he scores. 7.5 minutes in, the Brazilian gives us the lead, his 3rd goal in the league, as we're hoping that he can have a good first season in the Prem. So coming back from the Saudi League after being in the Portuguese League, it's going to be a big step up for him against teams like Arsenal, etc. But as you can see, he definitely can do it. So he gets inside out of Saliba. Gabriel couldn't come over and stop him, and he makes it 1-0 here. See if it's a Gyökeres. Kimmich forward into Saka, and Saka misses up until the end. So right now we do still have a good amount of originals in the team. Janonto, reading there from Gabriel Leonardo on the ball, the Brazilian. There's nowhere to go though, so we have to go backwards. Anton Stark. Lovely move here, but somehow we'll lose possession. Stark gets it back low. And Leonardo trying to flick it in behind Saliba into a box it there with a handball, and we get a free kick here. So we know Anton Stark can score them for us. This one though is a hard position to score because the actual free kick stature that Stark has blocks my view at the actual shot. So I don't think this is going to go in, but we're going to try at least. The German, he put us 2 goals to the good here. He hits it and it's off the wall. Inside here to Leonardo, who turns and still has possession just about. Leonardo shoots, and Raya says there's hoping it could fall to Toronto after a parry there, but Raya did well to keep it down at his feet. Barcola, a tough player to defend in this game. Thankfully, O'Brien steps in there and gets it back here to Lucas Perry. Lovely play here. Depending on who their fullback is, we're going to try to get down here with Janonto with a pace. And play it inside to Leonardo, who shoots. But Raya makes a big, important save there. And play for many, many years. And, oh no, not before the half-time break. Gyökeres goes backwards inside here to Barcola. I'm not liking this. They've got to score. They've got to score here. To get it back to Barcola, they're going to get a goal. My prediction almost came true there. Thankfully, it didn't though. Which is going to definitely make us struggle a bit more building up on attacks. Hopefully we can get one going here. Stark, Leonardo, Okafor. Lovely play here. The Swissman. A Saliba there, but he took forever for the cut inside. But by the time Saliba was there, he should have had it done. Onto here. Can run down the wing with the ball, the Italian. Can charge. Can I bring it inside? He can bend it, but it's blocked there by Saliba and Saka. He's charging forward here. Jacob Bryan, okay, how do we not get the ball? His shot blocks it a bit shabby, thankfully. Gyökeres, we just can't get any challenges in. Perry makes a save. Right now we're just struggling to get any challenges in on the Arsenal players. Are just dodging us left, right and centre, a bit shabby, thankfully heads it away. Having him at the near post, being 6'5", is a cheat code, which is great. Leonardo, you'd think it'd be the sit on corners for attacking, but it's not been so far. Ginonto, there should be 2. The Italian does make it 2. To be fair, we deserve a second goal in this game, especially because of our first half performance. We had many chances in the first half I couldn't take, because Raya made some big saves, but finally we double our lead. We're going to make some changes. Benny Traore, you just saw celebrating there, is going to come on for the rest of the game, and even Mateo Joseph is going to get a 2-goal lead in this game. The Italian doubles our lead, which is to see. For the rest of the game, Irabunam replacing Batterina for a bit more defensive cover. Thank you, Perry, for making that save, because I don't get how Saka even got that shot away to begin with. We should have defended it before he even got the first touch down off his chest. Now Joseph here to Irabunam. Arsenal just all over us defensively here. Stark. Traore. Great move there from him. That's a great finish. That's why I brought him into the team. Replacing Ramazani as our backup left wing. A player that could even replace Okafor if he manages to get higher rated and performs better. He gets his first goal here for us. It's a great move there to beat Saliba and a great finisher into the top corner. That's the 81 finisher he does have. When I saw his stats, when I was looking through, players to bring in for that position, and I saw he had incredible end product, I knew that he was the guy to bring into the team. I always want backup players who can deliver when they come off the bench. And Ramazani is a player with pace and good dribbling, yes, and decent end product, but Benny Traore is pretty much guaranteed to get a goal when he comes on with the finishing if he gets chances. And Ramazani is more of a gamble. Should maybe try to get in there a bit quicker there, but here's Harry Wilson. Off the crossbar, that'd have been a great goal. That strike from Wilson was great. Taser has put Gabriel's in there to intercept. It's a 3-0 win, a clean sheet and the 3 points. Here at home against Arsenal. It's a bounce back from that draw against City. This is a big win here for us. We beat Arsenal for a second time already this season. As you know, we beat them in the Community Shield final. And right now we're looking pretty good going into the season. Obviously, we played great in this game. Arsenal had chances. They could have taken them, but they didn't do so. Perry made some massive saves. And you can see 7.5 rating for him. And overall, Leonardo, best player for us with a 9.7. But other than that, Traore and also Ginonto there as well for the Man of the Match award. But he goes to the Brazilian after scoring in this game and playing great overall. And as you can see, going into our next game up against Spurs at Elland Road here in the rain, but look pretty good. The team's looking great. I see Jacob Bryan coming in has got to an 82 rating already. Went up to like an 81 rating at centre back. I see he's a right back in the game at the start. But went up to an 82 or 81 at centre back and now an 82 now. And looking pretty good in the team. So we did bring a Flamingo to be the first in centre back, but obviously with Jacob Bryan signing and being higher rated and faster and taller, then he's got to take it over the role. It's been great for us at centre back as well. Flamingo can be a player and come into the team. We do use that now and again. And you can see our backup is looking pretty good. Benny Traore could even come into the first if we needed him to. At some point for Okafor, like an injury or whatever happened to Okafor, Traore could definitely come into the first team. At right back, Bogle's looking pretty good. He has reached his potential right now, but I'm hoping that after this season, he does get like a boost in potential, because I feel like he's a player that we could keep in the first team for a long time if he keeps to go up and overall like Ampadu. I feel like these two would benefit a lot from dynamic potential in the game if it does work out like it should do. They've been great players for us in the team, and they should continue to grow as we go throughout the series with them. Obviously, Anton Stock's a player that we possibly could look into replacing next season as we get into season 3. It's a player that we do like in the team. He's a fantastic player for us. Obviously, a legend on the channel from the Dortmund series back on FIFA 23. But it could be a player that we do replace at some point of a higher rated midfielder. So that's something to keep in mind. Or maybe, someone like Bidstrup or Abundant could develop and take over that role in the near future, but that's something to think about going into in the future. But let's get into the game against Spurs, which is a now, and hopefully get another 3 points. We'll be Arsenal 3-0. It's our time for us to face the second team in the North London rival in Spurs, North London derby, and hopefully beat them here. And I do feel like Spurs are a team that I do want to do a crim over at some point soon. See, right now they are, I think they're 14th in the table, or maybe 15th. And they're a team after making some big signs like Mohamed Kudus, I think Matthias Tell. Also, the signings of Xavi Simons coming in. They're a team that should be doing much better than they are. A ball over the top here, Leonardo to open the score, and that's a great finish there. I was tempted to play the ball across there, but I knew I had faith in Leonardo. And the Brazilian gets his 6th goal in his 8th game here in the Prem. He's been a fantastic player for us. In the simulation games, by the way, he is scoring a lot of goals. Benny Traore in the second season doing this, and we've got Alisson in net. Did I know about that? I'm not too sure. But Alisson's in net for them. It was that second touch there, like when he kept it up in the air. That's why I decided to shoot, because if he took it down, I would have played the pass. If he didn't do that second touch, I would have played it. I would have passed it across. But due to that touch, I was forced into shooting. And thankfully, Leonardo found the back of the net with a fantastic goal to beat his fellow Brazilian, which is a thing that I have with SC26. If we get another chance at Mickey van der Ven is there, which forces us to. That pass was aimed at Anton Stark, by the way, and of course it didn't go to him. Okafor here to Stark, and Stark's running through, and Stark scored. And maybe you heard at the start of this game me talking about potentially replacing him, because he doesn't score many goals for us in this series, but he's came up with one here. That might be the first one I scored with him, other than free kicks. I think it might be. He's came close to a few long shots and opportunities before. I think he scored last season as well for us in open play, but I'm not too sure. I think he probably did do. But Stark hit the German, doubles our lead. A fantastic finisher to beat Alisson. And right now, Leeds as a team, we are performing on another level and looking like a team that could go on to win the Premier League this season. Obviously finished 5th last season. We're looking to at least get Champions League football this season, but a title would be great. So right now we've got a team that shouldn't really be challenging for the title, but in terms of ratings, but at the same time, it isn't all about the ratings, about the way the team plays. And right now, this Leeds team is seemingly unstoppable. Shinonto up against Jed Spencer. That's a good battle there between those two, but Spencer comes out on top just about. And there he is. Obviously, he's a free agent in the game, so I get why. As Kulusevski's header is saved by Paris, the Brazilian stops him. As Ruben Amorim is the manager of Spurs, that's weird. So Ruben Amorim no longer the Man United manager IRL. I see Michael Carrick came in and won his first game in charge in the Premier League, the Manchester derby. Van der Ven shoots and Van der Ven scores. We should have defended better. They're letting Van der Ven score against us. It's a great strike from the Dutchman. We know he has it in his locker, as he scored a great goal for Spurs not that long ago with that solo run that he scored, but we need to do so much better defensively to stop him. No one's there to block it. I feel like Jake O'Brien would be a good sign for Spurs. I feel like that kind of, in my head, O'Brien moving from Everton to Spurs is a transfer that I could see happening. I don't know why, just feel like it could be decent for them, with Romero being a player that's looking to leave, or being linked with a move away. Janonto trying to break free, and Van der Ven has done so, and Janonto hits it, but the angle wasn't the best. Blocked by Stark. Okafor. Good run there from him. Can he get there? Okafor, the Swissman's had a fairly quiet game, and Addison denies him. I felt like chipping that there, but I decided to go for the normal strike, and I should have chipped it. The Croatian. Oh, that's frustrating. When I make those noises, actually, I'm frustrated and just annoyed at something going like that. We'll get a chance of Spurs to high press. This is where it works against them. Okafor. This time, he hits it, but Alisson's makes a save because he was forcing it to the shot sooner than I wanted to do that. Xavi Simons now on for them. Player should be starting for them, and there's linking up play here rather nicely. The Dutchman. How is he beating us there? Thankfully he misses, because if he scored that, I would have been fuming. We get the ball back though. Rather fortunate deflection. Shaw right. Go on, Wilson, get into the box. Shaw right. Can he whip it in? Yes, he can, but what was that finish from Wilson? He just scuffed it. That's been this game. I mean, we get a win. That's all that matters. But the second half period was so frustrating. Barely anything happened of note. You've probably seen, I don't know how many highlights of it, but we beat Amber Spurs, which is weird to say, but we beat them here in a game we deserved to win, but the second half period was so frustrating. But thankfully we'll win the game. Alright, so that's going to call it for the end of today's episode. We're currently at the top of the table, undefeated still with the likes of Aston Villa and Liverpool not too far behind us. Even Man City are here. And Forest surprisingly making a climb up the table, up to 5th right now anyway. But right now we're top of the table with 7 wins and 3 draws, with 21 goals scored and only 8 conceded, the joint best defence in the league and the second best attack in the league right now, as you can see. In terms of the Europa League that we are in this season, right now after 3 games we're top of that in the league phase with 3 wins from 3 games, which was to see Benfica in second. Obviously, some fairly decent teams we're going to have to challenge for this trophy with, but hopefully we can go all the way and win the Europa League. Obviously, next episode we have some money to spend. We have 25 million, and we are going to get into January because I'm going to sim all the way. I'm going to show you the games. We're going to sim all the way to this game against Liverpool. We're going to start the episode for that game. Maybe play Aston Villa depending on where they are in the league at the time. And also we have Liverpool here in the Cup as well. We've got Chelsea as a busy December. In January we've got some big games as well. Arsenal, Man City and Man United there, as you can see. So we've got a fairly hectic episode for next one if I do just have to play all those games. Money to spend. And one thing that we do need to do is sign another backup midfield because Tanaka, for some reason, requested a transfer despite getting a good amount of game time. He decided to request a transfer and wants to leave, so we are going to have to sell him. And obviously Longstaff's a decent backup player, but 29 years of age is a player that we can't rely on for the future. Bidstrup and Irabunam are pretty decent, but we need a third one for the second team since Tanaka's going to be leaving us. And on the short list, we've got a few players here, so we've got to quickly have a look and see who they could be. So Matthias Steinberg is a player that could be a good backup player for us, playing for Wolfsburg. The Swedishman's been here from the first episode, I think it was, and could be a good backup player for us. Loftus-Cheek could be a great experienced player to bring into him, obviously former Chelsea player. He's always just incredible in SC or FIFA. He's always just like a player that can guarantee is going to be good in the game. You know, he's got literally 70 plus on every single stat. He's always a great player that can attack, can defend, and is always just great to have, and it would be a Swiss Army knife player for us in the team. Could even play CDM, maybe even job at centre back. To be honest, Joe Bellingham was the player that you guys wanted me to buy, and rather frustratingly, at the start of this season we couldn't buy him, but now we can buy him, which doesn't make any sense. But Joe Bellingham is a player we're going to save for another season at this point. And also we've got Maritz Kierkegaard. We know how good he can be from the Wolves series. And using the Red Bull links, we could bring him into the team as a backup player for us in this team. And he's here because he's left-footed, so that'll make sense for us because obviously Bidstrup and Irabunam are right-footed, but Kierkegaard could come into the team and be a left-footed backup player for us, which would make sense. But Buonanotte is here because obviously in real life he's been loaned in by Leeds. So I want you guys' opinion if we should buy him. I don't think we really need him in the team. He could be a good backup player for us, like cam or right mid, and even centre mid he can play. But in my opinion, there's more of a right wing / cam that we could use. But drop in the comments below who you think we should buy, and if Buonanotte is a player we should bring into the team. Otherwise, this team right now is obviously playing incredible and looks incredible as well. So that's going to call it for this one. Drop a like if you got to enjoy the episode and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching.